Hello, good morning, you guys. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Y'all know I cannot sing, right? I decided to do a quick live because I can't be on too long. I got things I gotta do. Ugh, okay. I see one person. Okay, I see 14 people sitting here drinking some coffee. It's a chill morning. Y'all know I'm getting old. I've been having sweats at night. I have never like had sweats, and I have my air on, but I've been getting sweats at night. Wake up, sweat all up under my neck. Let's see. King Lil J, True Aquarius, Crisetta, Sunshine. Yeah, what's going on this morning? It's a nice morning though. It's 61. So it's not too bad. I don't like the winter because I kind of well when it's going into the winter and the fall. Those are my two least favorite. I love the spring and the summertime because I have a lot of energy. But when it starts to get cold, I just want to lay in the bed. Like I got some things I got a lot of things to do today. And when I say I got a lot to do, and I'm kind of dragging my leg, so I decided to get on because I don't know what time I'm gonna get home tonight. Um, you guys make sure I'm gonna put this into the atmosphere. Make sure you all check your credit and look at what's on your credit. It would also be good to have a company monitoring your information. Every year you get a annual free annual report, right? To check um, in those reports, you get the opportunity to see who has inquired about your credit, pull your credit report. Pay attention to those inquiries. If you know you have not um, given particular entities permission to pull your credit, now if you apply for something that's different, if you have a credit card with one of those companies, sometimes they may do a soft pull just to see if they can give you an increase. But if you have no dealings at all, dispute it. Dispute it, have the credit card company or the bureaus to look into it. They will look into it. They will get back with you, and then you could start the process of filing fraud charges. I would encourage you to file a police report and all of that. Okay. Also, in when you pull your credit, you might end up seeing something like somebody has opened up a bank account like in Illinois or something like that. Your credit card, I mean your social security number probably has been sold off or something, and somebody has opened up an account, maybe in Illinois or just anywhere, right? Um, and you get the opportunity to see that because a lot of people don't pay attention to that, and we're living in a time now what's happening is people are getting your social security numbers and going and opening up bank accounts and depositing large amounts of checks. That's what they're doing now. They're going and taking checks and putting it in bank accounts and then getting the money. And from my understanding, they're going from state to state doing it. They so anyways, to make a long story short, y'all make sure y'all stay on top of stuff like that, okay? Um Yeah, stay on top of stuff like that. Make sure you always look into that, but make sure you look at the inquiries on your report, because that's just as important. Even you go, "Oh, okay, well they don't know." If somebody has made an inquiry on your report, it's going to show up. If you did not give them permission, it's fraud. File a police report, contact the FBI, okay? Anyways, y'all, let's talk about why was, and also make sure that, and you could do this, okay? I'll tell you all how to do this in the members. Make sure there are no more IDs. Nobody has gone to another state, let's say like Texas, okay? Make sure like nobody has, gotten your information, sold off your information or something like that, and went and got an ID in another state. Let's just say like Texas or something like that, Oklahoma, places like that. Make sure, and there are ways to ensure that there is not another ID floating around in your name, okay? Because we know now people do family trees, and what they'll do is, they feel like you might be on top of it. They'll try to go get an ID in your child's name or something like that. So I think people need to be proactive. Okay, if you're gonna be proactive in helping law enforcement to shoot fire up under some folks' ass so bad that when they do get out, they ain't gonna want to even think about another person's social security number. Okay, so we have to help the process. All right. Anyways, you guys, I wanted to talk about why was Big Juke not indicted before his death. Good morning, you guys. Let me see something. Okay, True Aquarius, King Lou J, Chrisetta, Shun, Dub JJ, M Rose, Rita Wilson, Nothing, Kenny Adams, and Joke Free. Okay. I know oftentimes people might feel like that nothing will be done, but you'd be surprised. This is a big issue. And when you start filing reports and things of that nature, not only file a report with your local department, also go on to the FBI website and file a report. And what's going to happen is that report is going to be forwarded to um, whatever team is working on things of that nature, right? Because it's a big thing, right? I was looking at where um they have somebody had one of my friends that told me, she was like, "Girl, I went to the store." I'm gonna get into what we're gonna talk about in a minute. So I went to the store, and when I got to the store, like all of my food stamps was off of my card. And I was like, dog, I've been hearing a lot of people talk about, because I was looking at another show, uh people talking about when they go to the stores that all of their food stamps and stuff had been stolen off of their card. And I was like, that's an inside thing. It's got to be an inside thing. Where um I was looking at something on YouTube last night, where they're doing an investigation. They got the Secret Service and the FBI involved. That's why I say this is the time. Trust me, you will get a response when you start talking about fraud and people opening up bank accounts in your name and people getting IDs in your name. I promise to God, on my daddy's grave, you will get a response. Write your shit up thoroughly, okay? Um, and they were saying that they had the Secret Service and the FBI has a task force, and they've been investigating this, and it's a whole lot of government workers that have been getting PIN numbers, changing PIN numbers, duplicating cards, and stealing people's food stamps off of their cards, right? That's what's been going on. Okay. So it's been several people, a lot of people that work for government agencies, especially in New York, that has been indicted and arrested. Okay. Good morning, Kenny. He says, "Good morning, T with the T." I'm telling. Anyways, you guys. So why was Big Jook not indicted before his death? That's something that we want to talk about, okay? One of my subscribers and I almost did a video on it last night, and I kept getting stopped, and I was like, dog, I'll just do a live on it tomorrow, okay? I was like, why was Big Jook, okay, not indicted before his death, okay? And then I want to talk about, before I get off, leadership in our households, because that's something I think that we all need to talk about. One of my subs has sent me some a message, and he was like, Miss T, I know you love the MPD, okay? But why do you think, do you think that Big Jook's death is his blood is on the hands of MPD? He was like, because why was he not indicted? And that is a good question. Why was he not indicted? Because I had been hearing that Jook was going to be indicted for well over a year. Yeah, I had been hearing that he was going to be indicted. I had heard that he knew he was going to be indicted. His lawyer was well informed that he was, but it was never happening, right? And so that is a good question. Hey, myself, I don't know. I think about the timing, and I don't like being accusatory, because I don't talk a whole lot about Big Jill, because I really kind of hate to talk about people especially when they've had tragic deaths. Okay. Um, I think about the timing of his unaliving. Big Jug would have been indicted before March. Okay, because that was around the time right before Straight Drops. Remember, they was gonna have Straight Drops trial in March, and then they changed it to June, and then they changed it to September. Okay, so he would have been indicted, but it had been talks of it way before then. I do believe he was supposed to have been indicted way before then. I don't know. I kept hearing tying up loose ends. I know that when you talking about Straight Drop and Cornelius and Hernandez Govan, they don't have the money that the rest of them have. That's still not a good reason, but I know when you're dealing with people that's got money, they tend to take their time on it because they got the money for the legal defense, the legal experts. But still, I mean, when you know what you know, hey, I don't know why he was not indicted before his death. It could have saved his life. I don't know. I just know that I had been hearing about it about a year before his death. Why they had not done, why they didn't do that, I don't know, because as a matter of fact, it was probably way before his death, because when I heard, first of all, Big Juke's name came up in the very beginning. Like, Big Juke's name came up in the very, very beginning when, folks were saying, when Young Doc was unfortunately taken out, people were saying that they already knew who was involved. And people was definitely saying, because I didn't know who Big Juke was. And people were saying that Big Juke had spearheaded it. I'm talking about people, just regular people, like out in the street, right? That he had spearheaded it, because it was always known that he always, kind of did, what was necessary as it relates to, he was the connection to the streets. He kind of, as the police said, was his brother's enforcer. Well, people out in the street already knew that, right? But as far as why wasn't he indicted before his unaliving, I don't know. I just know that, we had been hearing that it was going to happen. It did not happen. It was going to happen. It was in the process of happening. But I find his the timing of his death was kind of weird too. Somebody is going to be indicted at some point really soon, before that first trial that Stray Drop was supposed to have. It had gotten down to that narrow time frame, right? It had gotten down to that narrow time frame. So unfortunately, he was taken out in January but it was supposed to be in between that time in January and March. But hell, they had been saying it for a year that he was supposed to be indicted, but I don't know. Like I said, they said his lawyer Art Horn and them were made aware. He was well aware, right? I don't know. That's the only thing I could say. I'm not going to try to lie like I know. All I know is it was supposed to happen, and that is a good question. What took so long? If you already knew that you were going to indict him, what would take so long? They said Big Juke wasn't indicted because he had money to buy himself some time. Well, that's true. I believe that's true too. He had money to buy himself some time. I kind of believe that. Um, the same thing is going on with Black Youngster. I mean, it's the exact same thing going on right now with him. So I believe that he's buying himself some time. But that was definitely a good question. Hey, I don't know. I just think that it's really weird. It could be coincidental, but I don't really believe in coincidences. Um, that Black Youngster, yeah, no, that Big Jook was unfortunately killed because I was not happy about Big Jook being killed. I didn't celebrate that. I don't agree with people being slaughtered. I believe in justice, right? Um, who did it? I don't know. Everybody speculates, but when it first happened, I had dudes that was out in the street from Memphis that came into my chat was saying, Miss T, it didn't have anything to do with Pre. It didn't have anything to do with the Dow situation. And they actually named the guys who did it. Okay, they actually named the guy. I can't remember. And when I tried to go back and look at that chat, what the person had said in the chat, for some reason that they removed the chat. It must have been I played some music or something. I don't know, and had to edit it, but the chat is not available, so I can't see who it was anymore. Because y'all know I'm real forgetful. Hey, Real Talk, Tamara, we've been waiting for you to pop out. Yeah, I was like, let me get on this morning because I know I got a long day today, but hey, he was going to be indicted supposedly, but they have been saying it for over a year, really. Um, and supposedly it had gotten down to that narrow margin, if I'm saying that right, because I feel like my tongue is tied. Um, between January and March, right? And he was taken out. So I think that's probably why a lot of people have their suspicions also about who took Big Jook out. Me personally, because we know that, Young Dog's family, definitely his artists know more than what the public would think that they know, right? Um, why would they want to take Big Jook out and they knew he was getting ready to be indicted? I mean, Young Dolph's family wants justice. I don't think they wanted to see him killed. They wanted to see him stand before a judge and a jury, right? So, why would they wait until he's getting ready to be indicted? They know he's getting ready to be indicted to take him out. I kind of believe what the people that was coming into my chat was saying, that it was some street stuff and it had something to do with some money. So I don't know. He says, "Good morning, Miss T. At work, sneaking listening to you." Well, I'm glad that you are. I was like, let me hop on. Like I said, I was gonna upload a video last night, and I kept getting stopped because my phone kept ringing. I was like, oh, damn it! I'll just do a live because I don't feel like doing all that editing. I'll just do a live in the morning, early in the morning. So let me ask you all, why do you all? Because I think I've said I don't know why. I just kept hearing, even I'm talking about way before the month that he was unfortunately taken out, that loose ends was being tied, they never not said that they always said that he was going to be indicted. They always said that he was going to jail. So, um, why do you all think that he wasn't indicted? Cypress says that he thinks that Big Jook was had the money to buy him some time. I don't know. That could be it. That could be it because that could be it. Hey Demetria, what's up? The Alabama hitter. It's all in the making. Like I said, that would be a good question because Big Juke's name was mentioned a whole lot in Young Dolph's, in Justin Johnson's trial. His name was mentioned a whole lot. The prosecutors mentioned his name a lot. Um, as I said before, Cornelius, if Cornelius probably would have told, everything right then and there, but I could tell they kind of guided Cornelius away from saying a whole lot in that particular trial. Because if you go back and listen to that trial, Cornelius, if you really listen to him when they was talking about Straight Drop getting a contract with CMG, he said, yeah, he was supposed to get signed to Gotti now. And they kind of guided him back to CMG Big Chook, right? So um and Miss T, remember now, Hagerman asked the detective why was he not indicted, and the detective said because deceased. Yeah, that was kind of the easy way to put it, because he was supposed to be indicted but they knew they was going to indict him way before he was deceased. Um, but like I said, I did hear that he was supposed to be indicted. It had gotten down to um, that small little time frame between then and when Straight Drop trial was supposed to start in March. I mean, but that's easy to say. I mean, because he could have been in jail way before January. Hmm. You all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Make sure you all hit the like button. I hear people say that they think that his brother has something to do with his death. I don't know. Hey, it does seem suspicious. I think in the very beginning I was like, no, I don't believe his brother had anything to do with what happened to him. But I mean, people are so weird now. You never know what could have happened. But it does the timing of his unaliving does seem very suspicious. It does. Do I believe that what happened to him will ever be solved? I kind of think they, I don't. I think I think they know what happened to him. Definitely the people around him knows what happened to him because he made it clear. He wanted for people to know what happened to him. Um, or what was going to happen to him, but whoever it was, he was well acquainted with. Rather than face me, you rather snake me, and then he's unalive the very next day. So, I mean, he kind of put it out there. Moneybag Yo put out some messages that he had. Moneybag Yo knows what happened to him. He wanted for people to know that Big Juke had sent him I can never find my phones. Um, Hold on, you all. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. I will get a phone call when I'm on here. Um, and then you get those calls and you saying, okay, all right, all right, all right, all right, and they won't get off. That's basically begging them, please let me go. It says if she don't hurry up and come back, I'm gonna take some of her scented candle. Hey, positive vibes. But anyways, you guys, that's what I want to. Why do you all think? Why do you all think that Big Jook was not indicted? Cypress gave a really good um answer. Cypress says that he feels like because he was buying time. Now, I was told that his people, like his lawyers and stuff, was well aware that he was supposed to be indicted a long time ago. Um, um, I was when I was told about the same thing with with youngster. So um, Jukes M would never be solved because it was not meant to be solved. Look into what you will, family tie. So Hitter says that he thinks that it's family ties. He thinks that somebody that Juk and Juk's family has something to do with it. Um, I mean, the timing of his death, it was definitely it was definitely suspicious. It was definitely suspicious. I don't know, but looking at his mother and how hurt she was, that bothered me. I hate to see anybody's mom. And even now, like when you see pictures floating of her, you could tell that she's still not the same. She's still grieving real bad about her child. So do you all think, because I mean, everybody talks about how Juk and his mother had a real strong love for each other and his sister. Do you think that his brother would be evil enough to hurt his mom and his sister like that? M. Rose says, from what I heard, impossible rumors or not, Juk owed debts he ain't paid. That's what the people was coming into my chat and saying. When I first heard about it and I went live the day that he was taken out, somebody from Memphis, and I'm not gonna say who he is, but it was several, but one that be in my chat quite a bit that's out in the street says, T, it ain't how it was some street stuff, and said who it was. When I went back to look at that chat, it says chat removed. Why did they remove the chat? They must have been cussing a lot in their chat. Um, Positive vibes says, yes, it's in your body to do stuff like that. Oh wow. Ashley says, I don't think it had anything to do with Mims, period. I feel it was the brothers that were in his head. Hmm. Are you talking about Yo Gotti? When you say you don't think it had anything to do with Yo Gotti? Hmm. Oh, he says sorry for the type of mistake. Yes, the Mims family as a whole. Okay. I also heard that CMG is under Robin name now. Yeah, somebody, I believe Grayface has said that it was up under Robin's name, and they're doing that for legal reasons, probably to try and keep. Um, it could be for tax reasons, but it's more than likely for legal reasons to make sure that everything is out of Yo Gotti's name, So because they know that Young Dolph's family is gonna come for them. I wouldn't be surprised if on paper they have not even changed CMG's name. It's probably on paper legally. I bet you it has been changed. The same people that were shooting at him at the gambling spot and car show was probably responsible. Say because it seems like to me if it's true about they had been shooting at him the week before, if they had been shooting at him also the day before, right? That was the rumor. Whoever it was definitely was determined. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something about when people go and they start putting hits on folks, okay? What you have to think about is when you go and you put a hit on like a big rapper and it's sensationalized like it was with Young Dolph. So everybody in the street knows that they were behind this. So when they start having issues with, you have an issue with them, they'll go, in the back of their mind, they feel like I got to get this nigga out the way. We having problems. We've had words. We got to go ahead and eliminate this person because we see what they did to Young Dolph. So we're gonna eliminate them before they trying to eliminate us. So um she said I've been changed from CMG to its previous name, a previous name. And Rose says they were shooting at him all that week before, and he went on his IG story, saying how they missed, and he was basically laughing and saying same stuff. Oh wow. Well, remember too now they had shot at him some months before when he was going into a restaurant, right? On Germantown Parkway. Um, it was a rumor that they was hitting at him at that time too. So I mean that was the rumor that somebody was trying to hit at him, before he went into that restaurant or something. And then that was it was true. It was actually true. Um, it was actually true because somebody else had told me that would be credible had told me about that, and that was months before. Now, as far as him being hit at the week before and the day before, of course, I heard that from the internet. You guys make sure y'all hit the like button. So, I mean, it's interesting. Why was he not indicted? And like I said, it's really similar. It's similar because it makes you wonder why has you heard a few other people's names. Hey, back in November of last year, um, somebody had told me that was very credible that somebody was going to be indicted. That was the same person that had told me about Govan. But hey, that person had told me about Govan probably around that April or May. It was like, and because I'd never heard of Govan. I ain't no flodger. I'd never heard of him. And so the person was like, he was more than likely going to be indicted. And the person had said that Govan would be indicted like that June or July. And he wasn't. I think he was indicted that's like August or September or something. Same person said that somebody from out of Atlanta was going to be indicted in November. It didn't happen. It would appear to me that Shook probably should have had been indicted last November also, or would have. The same thing going on with another artist. you know, um, that's supposed to be indicted. Why are they prolonging that process? I don't know. I don't know though. That's just, when you hear people say that somebody is going to be indicted, and it comes from a credible person, I guess it kind of, I understand though, sometimes when you say that somebody is going to be indicted, there are a number of reasons why that process is prolonged because the police cannot just go and get a warrant or whatever. What they have to do is they have to communicate with the prosecutors, right? And oftentimes when they show them, they have to take the prosecutors everything that they have. And I've seen them, when the prosecutors, because MPD used to be on the 11th floor of the investigative bureau, right? And the prosecutors will come up. I think the prosecutor's office was on the ninth floor, or something like that, still is, or the seventh floor, and they will come up and go, "Yeah, what you got is good, but we need a little bit more. I don't want to take this to trial until this, and that." But of course, we know that a federal entity is involved, so that could be unpredictable within itself, especially when there are a plethora of other people that's involved. So, the thing about when the federal entity is involved, if you start getting people one by one, I don't think that the federal entities like to do that. I think when they're all involved, people are all involved in one case. They kind of like to get all of them at one time, right? They go, well, why? They didn't do that with Cornelius and straight dropping them. Remember, at this trial, the the state had prosecuted them because a lot of what they had that their federal entities work with them on getting, they didn't even really present in court. So I don't know. It's I don't know. At this point, because with straight drop is gonna be looking, you know, I don't know. His situation is something. I do believe that he's, I don't he ain't gonna he okay. Anyways, um, people talk about the kite. I be having so much stuff going through my head. I think about things I can say and can't say. But that somebody has told me. But I get to thinking about, like, you know, about straight drop. Um, like I said, that's a that's a situation to watch within itself. I just think that the way things are going to end up turning out with that is going to be, what 26-year-old, he should not have did what he did. But what 26-year-old want to do what he's looking at, and if what was you know if all of this stuff is true about, um some of these cold cases and stuff being put into the mix, I've always, for some reason, felt like straight drop situation would end up like a outpost situation. I don't know why. I just always felt that. I knew, I knew before it even started happening that it was gonna happen, or as people would start solving a lot of these cold cases. So she gave him life in prison. She gave him life in prison. He's got to be sentenced for the other two. But then there's some other cases that are going to come up that he probably going to end up, they that's when they start, sometimes they start throwing the death penalty on the table, okay? And I'm sure he already knows about those other cases. I'm sure he knows. Um, I'm sure he's already been talked to, and been let know that his name has been um implicated. See, he's in jail. They don't have to beat around the bush as it relates to watching him. They can go straight to the jail and get him and let him know what they got. So, I don't think he gonna be able to stand no more charges without the death penalty coming up, you know. But hey, that's what starts happening when these young men get out here and they think that they gang and all of that. When these folks want to get out of trouble and they see that the folks got all of this evidence on them and they're not playing with them, hey, straight, that you got people that they don't want to do a day, let alone life. They don't want to spend a day in prison. So they'll tell everything. I'm gonna get you sentenced to 2 days. Okay, I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna tell everything. And so that's what these, hey, for me, I think that's a good thing. But I know a lot of people go, well, I don't wish jail on nobody. I do. I'd rather see people go to jail and pay their retribution for their crimes rather than just be slaughtered in the street. That's not justice to me. And I kind of think that that's a twisted way of thinking. Um, hey, holiday tracks. Everybody screaming gang gang. Them folks come get you. Gonna tell on the whole gang. Hey, I'm good, love. Yes, the city was turned last night. I tell you. So, like I said, all of this stuff is interesting, but it's still sad at the same time, right? Um, I hate that this stuff happened. You know, young Dolph loses his life while walking into a cookie shop. Um, so many lives were lost. So many black men lost their lives. Teasy lost his life. Okay. Um, Juke lost his life. It's been other men to lose their lives. It's gonna be interesting to see if the young man that was sitting on the porch, what becomes of that. I want to see what becomes of that situation. People kind of forgot about that, but I'll be interested in knowing what happened to him while he was sitting on that porch and why it happened. I believe what happened to Teasy is going to be, you know, I don't. I think that's going to be solved. I think what happened to Teasy is going to be solved. What happened to Definitely what happened to Jeremiah is going to be solved. I kind of believe that's already packaged up. I think that's already been put in a package. They're just waiting to put a bow on it. I think that's definitely. Um, if I had to guess which case would be solved next, I would probably say it would be his. It would, probably would be Jeremiah's, based on just some stuff I heard. It would probably be his that was, solved next. If I had to guess, um, let's see. I think what happened to the young man that went missing years ago. I think there's some action going on with that one too. I don't know the details. So just leave me alone because people get, what she know. Y'all leave me alone. I, I don't talk to nobody in the street. Leave me alone. Okay. Um, if somebody tell me something, then I mean that means it's probably already a done deal. I'm not real easy to scare. Um, I'm cuckoo, so you don't want to get me started, okay? Um, Ken says, that's what the powers that controls rap want murder. That's exactly what they want. Rose says, I think the man that was sitting on the porch, seeing them put the car in the yard, they had to unalive him, and I think Straight Drop took him out, or one of them. Yeah, because according to the witness, they said somebody pulled up and an arm came out, right? Um, and an arm came out. I think they saw who killed him. I think some people saw who actually it was that killed that young man. But according to the witnesses, a car pulled up and an arm came out the window and started hitting him. It's hard for an arm to come out and not the face and not see the face right. So I don't know. That one's gonna be interesting too. Um, they said what happened to Monique Johnson case, or she get off again? Oh, a Trey. I'm gonna see. Travian. I'm gonna see about that. You're right. What happened to that? Kimberly says one vlogger says that it was his mother's boyfriend. Okay, you talking about with the young man that was sitting on the porch? I always forget his name. Um, they're saying that his mother's boyfriend took him out. The young man that was sitting on the porch. I don't know. I think the young man, I think the young man's brother probably has an idea, even if he don't know. I don't think his brother was involved. But I think at one time his brother had a lot of anger. Child, I be hating to say stuff because folks get to listening at me. She mentioned his brother. We gonna go do something to him. Leave that boy brother alone. Hell, your ass is more than likely already cooked. Because I think they kind of have a they know the direction of where it came from, where that boy was killed. I kind of okay. It's a darn shame when people kill somebody and then they just start taking out anybody because they scared. He must have told. We're gonna do this. I mean, they just killing everybody, just stupid. People like that are disgusting. Just completely idiots, disgusting, good for nothing. Don't get me started, because y'all know I'll get started. Kimberly says, I don't know how true it is. Yeah, that the young man's his name was Devin. What was that young man's name that was sitting on that porch? Desmond Rogers, right? Um, he could emeralds, but don't sleep on my Grizzlies. We're talking about Desmond Rogers. Somebody said that they heard that Desmond Rogers' mother's boyfriend had unalived him. I don't think that's what happened to him. I never heard that, but I don't think that's what happened to him. I think what happened to him was connected to this young doll's case. What happened to him was connected to this young doll's case. What happened to Jeremiah Taylor? I know everybody, people have their difference of opinion as it relates to Jeremiah Taylor, but I kind of think that I'm on the I think what happened to Jeremiah. I think I'm right. Um Based on what I was told, what happened to Jeremiah is connected to this young doll's case. Oh, I don't talk about Jeremiah a lot because in the very beginning I was told not to talk about Jeremiah. I was asked not to, and I don't. But I kind of think that that case is going to be solved really quick. I mean, not really quick. It hasn't been quick, but really soon. I think it's basically might be already solved out. So you just have to, as the investigators say, we're just waiting to put the bow on it. And I think that's what they're waiting to do. Um, which means they have all of the ingredients. So hopefully, when these cases start getting somebody been, something going on. Somebody been solving cases. So I don't know, y'all. That's the West. We keeping the East. I would love. Yep. You all make sure y'all hit the like button. I would open up the lines. Um, but if I open up the lines, I'll be late for what I got to go do. Um, in my last comment, was a clue who said it, Miss C. That's why I put laugh out loud. Oh, okay. I don't know who said that because I had never heard that. That Desmond Rogers' mother's boyfriend took him out. That was my first time hearing that. I don't know what vlogger said it, but I'd never heard it before. I had never heard that. When Desmond Rogers was taken out, I remember, and I only did this one day. Desmond Rogers' brother was very upset. He was very upset, just with a few things that he posted. I can't even remember his name. I just happened to stumble across some of his posts right after his brother was somebody might have sent them to me or something, because people screenshot stuff and send them to me. That he was mad, you know. He was angry. I guess, as a brother he would be, but he was saying something about, I believe, not trusting people or something like that. And then Hernandez Govan had commented on that post and was like, "What's wrong with you?" or something like that. And then he said to Hernandez Govan, "I ain't talking about you, Unc," or something. I kind of remember that vaguely. I think somebody screenshot it and sent it to me or something, because I can't even remember Desmond Rogers' brother's name. So that had to have been, but I don't never remember nothing. Not hardly. So it must have been like over a year ago or something like that. But that post was like right after, Desmond had lost his life. Hey, so I've heard some people say that they think that what happened to Desmond didn't have anything to do with the Young Dogs case, but I kind of think that it did. And Rose says the court told Stray Drop that he is involved in two more incidents. Mm, yeah, or more. I'm sure it's what happened. What's been happening surrounding the Dobbs case. Yeah, I saw that. A great face. Um, the court told Straight Drop that. Yeah, I think it's more than two though. I don't, I think it's more than two. Some, according to my sources, okay, because I ain't in the street. Um, they said, from my understanding, he told where the car was for money. So, Phyllis, are you saying that he called Crime Stoppers? Are you saying that he called Crime Stoppers? Because, see, in that neighborhood, it's a lot of older people that lives at this point, in the Orange Mound area, you know. But you know what? I don't believe that. I kind of think that, it could have been him, because I don't know if those older people would call the police. I don't know. It's always somebody out in Orange Mound. So I'm sure, like, when they pull that car in there, I'm sure they had to drive that car on that street. They took that car. It could have been anybody. They might have killed that boy for nothing, because it could have been anybody. Folks was making so many calls to Crime Stoppers, it didn't make no sense. So it could have been anybody. But even if they did take him out, unfortunately, because they killed him for nothing because everybody was already calling and telling on them. Understand that the people that started talking didn't start talking just because they was noble or they felt guilty. They started talking because folks was calling in giving tips anonymously that knew what happened and giving the police clues, and they was jumping right on it. They was getting subpoenas to subpoena social media accounts and stuff like that because of the clues and the tips that they was getting immediately after it happened. They was basically cornered. They had to say something. They knew that they was caught, and so that's why they started talking. Of course, when you know you caught, what you start trying to do is make it seem like minimize what you did and tell on the other people. So yeah, I'm not sure that Desmond Rogers told on him either. It could have been anybody. Eh, I mean, in Orange Mountain, people are out all day, every day. It could have been folks be calling, getting their Crime Stoppers money. You'll never know. They you notice that they didn't even. I don't think they even mentioned in the trial who called and told. They didn't even bring it up because it was more than likely a Crime Stoppers tip. So they probably killed that boy for nothing. Um, Quit lived across the street and had a camera based on what Cornelius said. They crashed out for nothing and got caught just to get money. They could have made working. Yeah, Cornelius could have made $800 in 1 week working a job. He said that he was a janitor at the Memphis City schools. I don't know how much they janitors make, but even if he could have made $800 in 2 weeks. You go and take a man's life, and when he ran his ass up there, he didn't give it a thought. He just saw that boy sitting there, standing there. Young Dolph had his back. Young Dolph had his back turned to that. He was closer to the door. He had his back turned. Okay, he had his back turned. How did Cornelius know that that was Young Dolph standing there? Because Marcus was in there. How he know that was Young Dolph with that yellow shirt on? I probably shouldn't have said that because folks would be saying, I told you the cookie shop was involved. Listen, I was told that the cookie shop was not involved. I told y'all that from the very start. I stand on that because that's what I was told by people that would know. Folks done told on everybody. You ain't never heard them bring up the cookie shop. Phyllis Dawson says, well, clearly that wasn't paying enough, Miss T. Yeah, he been feeling like a fool. When Cornelius was in jail, he started feeling like one. I told y'all. Wish I could find. Let me see if I can find that video. Let me see if I can find that video, you guys. I told y'all Cornelius. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I don't know. I've done so many videos. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Y'all hit the like button for me. Let me see if I can find it. I think I can find it. Um, I don't know, y'all. It's been so long ago. I think it will be going back to that 2-year mark. Oh, Lord have mercy. I did so many videos. I can't remember half the shit I done did. Um, I don't know, y'all. I think it's going back to that 2-year mark. Yeah, just keep hitting the like button for me. Let me see if I can run across it. Hmm. Um, okay, y'all. I can't find it because I wanted to um show y'all something. I'll have to find it later, and then I'll probably talk about it then. Yeah. I promise to God I don't see it. I can't even remember what I named it. Anyways, um, I can't believe I don't see it. Um, Hold on, you all. It says the way they was thinking was all from the start. Yeah, the way that they was thinking was all from the start. I mean, what they did was wrong, and um, the mere fact that they thought that they would come up off the back of taking him out, it was never going to work out. Yeah, it couldn't work out because it wasn't right. Oh yeah, I'm still trying to find it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to look for it. Anyways, y'all, let's see. Hold on, give me a few more minutes. Let me see if I can. Hold on, y'all. Y'all hold on. I thought it would have been around the 2-year mark. Um, but I don't see it. Anyways, y'all, it says they thought they was getting over. Yeah, they thought they was gonna get over, but they didn't. They thought that they was gonna get over, but they didn't. It wasn't designed for them to get over it. Like it was wrong from the very start. And I'm gonna tell y'all what's so disappointing to me. It's disappointing when you have other rappers from around Memphis um that knew that this was gonna happen, and they didn't say anything. You I think it's a darn shame. Like when you have rappers um that go, I was cool with Young Dolph, but I ain't had nothing to do with that. When do people start stepping up when it has something to do, with somebody's life? When it has something to do with somebody's life, you have people not saying nothing. To me, that's just cold blooded. Um, because me, even as a woman, if a man came to me, um, if I heard some guys talking about they was gonna take somebody out, even if it was just I was sitting there and I was with my dude and he having a conversation with somebody else, I would say something to him. You need to, or if I knew him, no, why you gonna do something like that? That ain't cool. Why would you want to just take somebody out? I don't want no participation in that. That's some sucker stuff. But unfortunately, people don't do stuff like that anymore, because they feel like, well, if I stop them from going and killing all them people, it could be folks could tell them they get ready to go throw um something into a building that's gonna light it up and take out everybody. Um, we're not gonna say nothing. Well, I ain't say nothing because I ain't want to stop my bag. So, people just kind of look at it's about money. I really don't care what else folks got going on. I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, it's wrong, but I'm gonna sit there and look at it. They'll sit there and look at it and won't say nothing. So to me, that's just kind of cold blooded. Yeah, to me, that's just kind of cold blooded to do something like that. To listen to it. I know everybody different, but I've never been able to sit and listen to somebody plot to do something to somebody, and especially for nothing. You got people plotting on people just based on I don't like them because they think they better than me. They probably is better than your lousy, no good ass. If you got to sit up and be plotting on somebody because they think they better than you. You's a bottom of the barrel, motherfucker. They is better than you, bitch. Because don't nobody in their right mind, or nobody that's got any type of or class about themselves even plot that. They think they're better than me. That's funny to me, because they ain't. They don't even know me, and they go on. But anytime you start plotting against people, it's got, at the core, it's got something to do with jealousy. You is a bottom of the barrel bitch. Okay? But people will sit up and let folks plot right in their faces. You have women. I never in my life thought I would live to see the day where women would be allowing things to happen to other women in their face. Happen to little girls and stuff. They sitting right in the room. They sitting up luring. Okay? They sitting up luring the little girls and stuff in. Not saying anything. Okay? Not saying a damn word, just allowing it to happen. It used to be a time where kids would feel a little safer around women, because women are supposed to have nurturing spirits, but a lot of them just a bunch of hard leg hoes now. Dirty, setting folks up, and then when they get caught, I did it so I can feed my kids. And that's supposed to be acceptable? Because that's what they put into the atmosphere. It's okay to mess folks over at the guise of paying your rent and feeding your kids. Bitch, get you a job. It ain't nothing right about that. But you have people that keep their mouth closed. Well, I'm getting what I want, so I sat there and let them do that to that little girl. I didn't say nothing, didn't have nothing to do with me. Folks ain't got no type of integrity, no feelings, no nothing. I was thinking about, because I work with an organization where you don't even hear me talking about it, where we use our expertise as it relates to helping to find missing children. Black kids are going missing in record numbers. And they're doing it. They don't get the media coverage, nothing, because it is our children. They don't get the coverage that a Natalie Holloway or Hollowell would get. Okay? But a lot of kids are being lured, because now when they go and snatch up our kids, they got women with them. Okay, so even when the child is scared, the woman is able to lure the child. It's okay, come on. The child is scared out of her mind or out of his mind. And they luring them away because they got women with them. Okay. And so I think that it's a darn shame, So when people get to hollering about we don't need the police, I have issues with people that say that. Why? Why we don't need the police? Because people like that need to be in jail. It ain't normal. And it almost happened to my cousin about a couple years ago. It was on the Memphis news. My cousin was going through something. Bless her little heart. She always been off. Okay, little kooky. And my cousin, her and her sister, which is my other cousin, was in Walmart on Elvis Presley. Y'all know damn well that's the hood. There was an Asian woman, whoever from Memphis gonna remember this, a white man and a black girl that was in the Walmart talking about they had a church in South Haven. So they was like, we got a church in South Haven and this, and that. And well, my cousin Tiffany was going through something. And so my other cousin said, they was like, well, we got a church in South Haven. They started talking to it, talking about God and all that. And they said, well, we got a church in South Haven. What you going through? Come on, go with us, and we're gonna baptize you. Said the white guy was preaching to her. And she told Tiffany, you ain't going to no damn church to get baptized at no damn 8 o'clock at night. She was gonna go. That's because she had been going through a whole lot of stuff, wasn't even thinking. Well, come to find out later on, if you all remember it on news. They was in the Whitehaven area, all down by Tulane and everywhere. They was trying to get people. They was really it was a organ harvesting situation where, and they ain't said nothing else about it. Or they was trying to trick people to go with them so that they could take them out and take their organs. Now, what kind of world do we live in where we got people that feel comfortable in the hood? When I was growing up in the hood, we always felt the safest because them thugs over there wouldn't get ready to let you come in the hood and do nothing to nobody. You mean to tell me you got black folks? They had the black girl with them so that she could escort them into the hood. That bitch should have got her ass whooped cat raggedy. See, it ain't no people always talking about they don't need the police, but ain't no repercussions for what they doing. You take care of the person that is the vehicle to bring these folks into our hood first. You make an example out of them so nobody else would ever want to do it. It ain't no nothing to say. People say, well, you move militant, you slick low down. Well, hey, I understand there has to be something put in place to stop these damn fools. Folks don't want no police. They say defund the police, but they ain't gonna do a damn thing because a lot of them want the guys and the women, all these crimes that they commit against persons and all of that. They want them to be able to do it freely. Who are we? Who is the police to stop somebody from going and doing something to a little girl? Because most of these people that don't want the police, they don't want the police because they committing crimes. They want to be able to do it freely. Okay, they sick. Okay, when they get to hollering about we gonna do something, we gonna police our own hood, nigga. You the one that's out there burglarizing the little hood, the hoods, and looking at the little girls. When they had that guy going over there to Hamilton Elementary School, he lived right in South Memphis. He was going and he was snatching them girls up. It was on the news last year at the elementary school when they was walking home. And then he was violating them little girls and going right back in the hood with them niggas that claim that they thugs and smoking weed and beer, drinking beer. Y'all don't want the police. How come he was able to do that? Y'all mean to tell me y'all thugs and y'all let him do it? Ain't worth a damn. So we need the police. Because he wasn't supposed to feel comfortable enough, especially in the hood. When stuff like that used to go on, they would go out in other hoods. It ain't supposed to go on nowhere, but they ain't never feel comfortable in the hood because they already knew they came in the hood. They weren't going to leave. But now you got people in the hood doing it. And I ain't saying no. Yeah, I know he was sick. But I ain't saying no because they're my road dog. You ain't shit either. How you going to sit and smoke weed with somebody like that? Okay? This is stuff people don't like to talk about. They don't want to talk about it. You just heard on black people. This stuff got to be called to the table. Okay. Everybody wants to put a titty in the black people's mouth. Well, black people had it hard. Yeah, our ancestors had it hard. I know. You absolutely right. There are some things put in place as it relates to our people to keep us stagnant, but we already know that it is. How come we ain't doing nothing about it? But instead, we just we gonna give them a $100 check, and the black people they want you to keep that victim mentality. That's why I always say, bitch, I ain't no victim. Yeah, what they doing is wrong. So now what we gotta do is organize and do something about it. But don't nobody want to do that, and defunding the police ain't doing that because we got to have the police. These niggas will run them up. They already is without them. The problem is these folks already know that they sons and daughters and stuff out here burglarizing. Folks work hard for their stuff. You want little Rufus to be able to run up in their driveway and steal their new car. That's what you want without any repercussions. And you don't have no problem with it until somebody go ahead and lay little Rufus ass down for good. So this when they all on TV, this what they do. Black people, it's turning on black people. Y'all, I get secondhand embarrassment Lady, you on TV because your son just got laid down because he went up into somebody's house and burglarized their house. And you got the nerve with your twisted mind to say black people doing it to black people, killing black people. They didn't have to kill Rufus. He was a good boy. Your ass knew what Rufus was doing when he was pulling up in your driveway with them damn cars. Rufus ass ain't never been no good and ain't never had no damn job. So how you think he get that car? My kids ain't never gonna pull up in the driveway with nobody in an expensive car. I'm gonna know all their friends, and they got a Maserati. Nigga, you live down the street in the projects. How you in that car riding around? No, Rufus, you ain't get ready to get in that car. I tell you what, we get ready to call the police. You ain't get ready to get in that car. You 15, 16 years old. How your son gonna tell you what he gonna do when he living in your house and he under 18? But in our community, we want to continuously put a titty in somebody's mouth. Hey, I can't do it. I ain't listen. My breast big, but they ain't got no milk in them. My youngest child is in her 20s. I ain't had no breast in my milk and no milk in my breast for 20 years, so I can't breastfeed you. Your ass gonna have to choke some of this meat down. That's the only way our community gonna start rising up. You're gonna have to take it. People want us to have that victim mentality so that they can crime feed us. When the truth of the matter is, we supposed to handle what's in our household. These kids are growing up in your household. I got an issue with a police officer having more influence on my child than I do. That says something about me. Hell, if you did what was necessary, the police wouldn't even have to deal with your child. If we organize and then the police wrong your child, then there is something put in place to make sure that that police that wronged your child is handled. But that ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. What we gonna do is get up and loot. They killed the markers way in Timbuktu. We get ready to loot. Bitch, you won't even get up and go to work. You laying in your mama's house or your girlfriend's house, eating up all her kids' cereal with snot running all down your lip and shit. Won't get up and work. But as soon as they perpetuate destroying the black community, the police officer, a white police officer, had killed a black man. Okay, so there has to be something in place to make sure a judge dare not give him a bond. And then there's some laws put in place to make sure it's mandatory life in prison when they unjustly kill a black man. But what about all this black on black crime that's happening every single day? It's more of that. We killing each other, just a common person killing somebody every single day. And so then we get up and we'll go loot. You don't even get up in the morning time to go to a job. We get ready to go loot. You ain't got nothing but a black convenience store in your neighborhood that's been there in Orange Mound for 100 damn years. You ain't got no car. You ain't even got no bike other than the little kids' bikes that you're stealing. How you gonna go and get you bread and milk and stuff? We looting. We get ready. Yeah, do we get ready to go loot and you burning up the houses in your neighborhood? Why you doing that? Cause they perpetuating that on CNN that we gotta stand for something. Then after you tear up the black neighborhood, here come the white contractors. Here come the white contractors. A lot of the people in your neighborhood, good dog, ain't even got insurance on their house because they can't afford it. So you go and you burn up Sister Eula Mae's house. She got to move out of her house, move in with a family member or something. She ain't got the money to get her house fixed. What happens? The sharks that's buying up all the properties coming by her house and fix it up and take the rent up 3 times. If you got insurance, here come all of the white contractors. Ain't no black contractors coming to fix it. So what was the resolve? You tearing up your own damn neighborhood with your no good ass. You won't get up and go to work, but you let CNN perpetuate. They want you to tear up your neighborhood, go burn up the black convenience store, because now your ass got to try to get a good Uber to go spend your food stamps at a Walmart or somewhere that ain't even owned by black folks. You done tore up your neighborhood, the black, the black businesses, you robbing and killing each other. Y'all, we got issues. And y'all sitting up talking about something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing because we don't want to deal with what goes on in our community and get mad at me because I talk about it. I know what the problem is. And the problem is a lot of us in our community ain't no earthly damn good. And you got folks too coward to say it. Okay. But I ain't. I came up from out of South Memphis, okay? I grew up around hood dudes. That's the reason why I know a lot of these bitches that say that they gangster ain't. They wanksters, they wimps, they pitiful, they sorry. Cause you weren't gonna come into the projects and do nothing to no damn woman or child or nobody and be able to coexist over there because they was gonna handle you. Okay? So what black people need to do is we need to deal with what's going on in our household because a lot of these young folks that's committing these crimes, they living in our households. Later, it's got to be something put in place. Women, you getting this Section 8. You able to get Section 8 in nice neighborhoods. You're going to have to decide on if you want your voucher or that gang member that's bringing discord to their neighborhood. These girls the one housing these damn gang members and messing up these neighborhoods. Yeah, that's what's going on. They letting these thugs that ain't got nothing. Because if he had something to give to you, he'd marry you and you wouldn't have to be on Section 8. But you let him come to the neighborhood. He come to a nice neighborhood that you've been afforded to live in for you and your children. And now he looking at all the nice houses. Everybody over there becomes a lick. Damn, the folks over here living good. Yeah, we already, we're stealing cars. It's a lot of nice cars over here. He get on the phone with his little car thieving friends. Man, I done came up on something. Okay, you gonna have to decide. Do you want your Section 8 voucher or you gonna house this gang member? After a while, she bringing danger to the neighborhood because his rival gang members have found out where she live in and they coming into a neighborhood that's always been nice and shooting up the neighborhood. See, y'all got the issues confused. When they said they took the black man out the home, not no black man like that. That ain't worth a damn. Talking about black men that was trying to provide for their families and needed help. Those are the black men when they tore up the black family, not no damn gang member that's bringing discord to his damn woman and neighborhood. Okay? So now you got the women that are more involved in luring these little girls into prostitution. I'm going to talk about you bitches today because I work in organizations. Okay? I do private investigative work. I do pro bono work. These folks is stealing these kids' children, and it's easier to steal a black child because they ain't gonna get the media coverage because they feel like a black child is worth nothing. Why aren't the men dealing with this? I'm talking about the real men. You can steal a black child if you want to, nigga. You're gonna quietly go missing. You ain't gonna have to worry about the police. If it was something in place, that's what they would be saying. But they ain't saying that. They just coexisting with dudes that are messing up our children. Bitch, if you want some money, how you feel like you pimping, snatching up somebody's child, somebody's little child, and forcing them into prostitution? But everywhere you look on a vlog, yeah, I'm a pimp, you's a bitch. That's what you is. Because don't no real men want to eat off of no women, period. I was looking at Willie D one day because I love men that's got some type of substance about him. Y'all know Willie D, they used to be with the Ghetto Boys. And he was saying something on his blog. He said, but you know what? I can't eat off no woman. I ain't never been able to eat off no woman, not me. I'm too real of a man. So I couldn't be no pimp or nothing like that. I love the ladies. I mean, I date the ladies now, but I ain't eating off no woman. So I can't call myself no pimp. I said, I like that brother. I loves that brother. Because even though he admit that he don't mind dating different women because he love the ladies, He made it clear, I'm a real man. I can't look for no woman for no money. So now we perpetuate having little girls and women to sell their bodies so that a man can eat. So that's why I say leadership has to start in our household, because with a real man, he gonna feel uncomfortable anyways with a woman taking care of him, because that ain't the way it's supposed to be. A woman gonna automatically know when he start trying to leech off of her, she gonna get him away from her. She gonna feel weird because that ain't the way it's supposed to be. Okay, that's not how it's supposed to be. But anyways, I don't know how I got into that, but I be getting mad, you know. Folks be sitting up talking about, well, you just love them police. I've been told y'all I do. Y'all think I'm hide it? I don't hide nothing. That's why when people get to talking about you this and you that, if I was, I would say it. I don't hide. I don't hide for nothing I do. That's why when the lies are put out about me, I don't be worried about that. I know a lie. I mean, it's a lie. I'm not going to refute a lie. Well, they said you were dating them police officers. I worked for the police department for 18 years. I dated one at the sheriff's office because I worked for the sheriff's office, and I dated one with MPD. That's two police officers. I've been with 7 men in my whole life. Bitch, you done had more dicks in your mouth than I've had in my coochie. Okay? Men and women. Okay? Because you got more men sucking Peter than ever before. That's the reasons why they are like they are, a lot of them. Okay? But I think it's a shame that our community is in the position that it is in, because all we know how to do is violate. All we know how to do is violate. It don't make me feel good to have to be running, to the police department, filing reports, running down to the FBI building, filing reports, um, being questioned by the FBI and stuff. I don't like that because people want to violate you. That's the issue that we have in our community. We don't respect each other. So why would any other community respect us if we don't respect each other? Don't y'all know that if they knew that we had something in place and we was organized, you would not see anybody just coming, just gunning down black men, innocent black men. It ain't gonna happen. It's not going to happen. You know why it's not going to happen? Because they understand that we're organized and that we got something in place. Instead, they know we're going to loot, tear up our neighborhoods, burn down all the black businesses, go into the Family Dollar and them stores, like those chain stores, be wanting you to come in there and do that because they probably ain't making the money that they should be making. They're able to file their insurance, get the money, and then shut the damn store down. Okay. It ain't doing nothing but helping them. They go build another store at another location like they want to do. Now you ain't even got a Family Dollar in your neighborhood where as you can walk up the street. They know we're not organized. All we're gonna do is loot and get on there to my they just be doing black people see it's wrong. And they're gonna go get a black person out of all the black people that are articulate, that care about their appearance. They're gonna go get somebody with a scarf on their head, with their mouth white, that's been up smoking crack all night, and get them they be doing the black people is wrong with no teeth in their mouth, because that's how they want to people to view us. That's how they want us to be represented on TV. And we don't have issues with that. We got bigger problems in our community. And our problem is even bigger because we don't know how to organize and come together and at least get some type of order with what's going on in our community. Don't you know that if they knew we was organized, you wouldn't see no judge letting off no police officer or anybody, because it's not just police officers that's taking out black people. You got more black people taking out black people. Okay. They would not. They would know that I will not win the next election If I let black people get gunned down and then let the person who gunned them down unjustly right back out, they would know that it was something to lose. You see that they don't do that in other communities. They already know that they can't go and just gun down an Asian and get away with it because they know that they got something in place for that. First of all, the judge on the case is not going to be reelected. They're going to organize. They got stuff in place, and they're going to quietly, okay, be proactive. We ain't proactive. We just want to holler and scream on every roof and loot, and then the next day, the news ain't gonna talk about it. It's forgot about. But you left to pick up the pieces because, yeah, I burned my house down. I burned my house down. Why you burn your house down? Yeah, I'm sending a message. That's y'all. That's how twisted we are. So people don't like folks that are real. They want in our community. They don't. We don't like people that are real. That's gonna tell us the truth that we got to be proactive. That we can't be doing this, and that. I don't like her. Look at her. I don't like her. She thinks she's some shit. She want to tell me what I should be doing and how I'm a raise. I should raise my kids. And I got 12 kids and I've been doing it this way forever. She ain't better than me, so we get offended because we don't want correction. I'm older than you. How you gonna tell me anything? Okay, well, so that's why, we're in the conditions that we are in. Okay. Because we want somebody, oh, I know. They just do the black community so wrong. But you know what? We're gonna do this and we want y'all to do this, and then we're gonna give y'all a cheese basket and you go vote for Mr. Such and such. And he ain't a bit of damn good. I don't like Tamara. I ain't gonna vote for such and such because look at how Tamara said it. She thinks she better than somebody else, but such and such gonna help to bring you out of poverty. He gonna show you how to become a damn business owner and where they keep out hide all that money at. But you don't like the delivery because you don't want to. You want to suck on a titty. You don't want no meat. Y'all, that's what's going on in our community. So you want somebody to finesse you, and that's the reasons why we're in the conditions that we're in. We gotta change. I ain't mean to get into it like that. I was actually getting ready to get off because I gotta go somewhere. But I mean, hey, I'm serious, and I could talk about this. I say it like I said. Forgive me for the cussing and all that, because I don't be directing it at nobody. But it's just that I see what's going on in our community, and I be wanting us to open our eyes so bad because I see what they do to us. Okay. I see what they do to us. Okay. And so that's why I say, y'all, we definitely we just gotta do better. If we want better, we gotta do better. It's not gonna get any better until we do better. Did you all hit the like button? Did you all hit that like button? Hold on, y'all. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Y'all hold on. Hmm. Y'all hold on. I don't know why I can't find it. I have to look for it. What was stated needed to be said, change starts in the home. Absolutely. Change starts in the home. It has to start there. And that's what people, we can't outsource that, you know. Um People say we don't need the police, but at the same time, when their sons and stuff are not coming into the house, they get to hollering about, well, they get to hollering about, well, the police ain't doing their job. It's not the police job to make your child do what your child. It's not the police's job to do that, to make your child come into the house. Yep, it's not the police's job. Hey, y'all, here it is right here. I was wondering what had happened. Hold on, y'all. I found it. Hey, so I did this video in March of 2023. I have quite a few friends that are still there when you've worked somewhere for so long. And when I was down there yesterday, I had the opportunity to get the tea on the straight drop on Cornelius. and on Hernandez Govan, okay? And in talking to some of my friends who actually have contact with Cornelius, I'm hearing that Cornelius is starting to get really restless, okay? Of course, I know I did a video before and I kind of threw out some hints about Cornelius and kind of letting you all know because he's been like, it appears that he has been like the quieter one. That's how it appears because we all know that Stray Drop was more flamboyant. He was the one that was, when Young Dolph was killed, he was more arrogant. He kind of put into the atmosphere. um he kind of put some stuff into the atmosphere. I think they thought that they would definitely get away with it, and we know that Straight Drop had wanted a record career, a rap career, in which it appears to us that he was promised a rap career, and they had started to gift him with that. And many people thinking that that was the payment, one of the payments for taking Young Dolph out. So, you have to wonder who would be able to have that type of payment to give somebody. That means you would have to have like a record label or something like that, some connects to be able to pay somebody to go and take out another famous rapper. Hint, hint, okay? I did that video back in March of 2023, okay? Um, It says, what was stated needed to be said. I feel you are going to be a politician soon. Just watch. Um, Ken says, listening to you, I felt I was at a Farrakhan. Said he felt like he was at a Farrakhan rally. I tell you, I don't be meaning no harm when I cuss and stuff. I really don't be wanting. Damn, you see, you need to be Memphis mayor. You are right about a lot you speak on. I guess I got to be polished up. It's something because every time I think about that, I be thinking about my dad. Was like when my dad was preparing to retire. He was like, I'm gonna start um getting you ready to run for office, right? Especially when he started getting sick because he was gonna run for another office. And then when his diabetes and stuff, he was like, you know what? I think we're gonna start preparing you to run for office because you're the more outspoken one. And I get to think when I think about that now, I was having a conversation with another politician that was very, very close to my father, and she was like, I would love to, take you up on my wing and stuff. And I get to, even when I started thinking about it, I started getting sad because I go, dog, like my dad ain't even here. It's so hurtful to continue on with a lot of what my dad and I talked about without him being here. My dad was awesome. He was elected more times than anybody in his position. He fought. My dad didn't take raises, and because he was like, I didn't take a raise because oh, I started getting so emotional. He was like, I didn't take a raise because it would have hurt the people. I had to fight them on this because they wanted to put me in a position to sell the people out. He just did not sell people out. And I was like, dog, a person that have fought for so many years and did so much that my dad did, why do we lose people like that? Why do we lose people like that so early on? Like, in a world where everybody, it seems like, is selling out the Black community, how do we lose? And when there's still a lot of good politicians, but how do we lose those that stand 10 toes down, that don't back down from nothing? Like, how do we lose that? I was thinking about my aunties when my dad was passing away in his bed, and I was thinking about my aunties and them was walking in there, and it was like, dog, you've been fighting for 30 years. We know you ain't get ready to check out now. Like, I kind of think about that. I go, dog, even though I would be, when I started being with my dad all the time and he would be talking to some other politicians, I'd be looking at them and I would go, ooh, that politician don't like my dad. But they dare not say nothing because they respected him. They respected him, right? Um, and I would say to my dad, Dad, I think that person don't like you. I was looking at them, and my dad would always say, I don't care how they feel. As long as you get what you need, you don't care how people feel. That's how he lived his life. Um, I tell you, I try not to talk about him as much as I used to because I get melancholy when I started thinking about him. I was like, Lord, I sure just gotta let that man rest. I was thinking about that. I was like, dog, because I used to always be like, if my dad was only here, if my dad was only here. And I started thinking about, I gotta let my dad rest. So I don't talk about him as much anymore. It's funny, I'm not weird or anything. I promise y'all. I was sitting on my living room couch and it was nighttime. I promise to God. And it happened again last night. 2 times it happened. I looked over at my door where you walk into my door at, and it was lit up. And I was like, dog, because I be having candles lit. I was like, there's a light at my door. I started thinking, I said, God, you ain't come to get me. I ain't going towards that light. And then like last night, I'm sitting, I'm laying on the couch, and all of a sudden, like the TV or nothing was on, nothing but my candles, and then it's a light that just lit up, like it was a light in my house. It's really weird. I was like, dog, where is that light coming from? Like it's not weird. I promise to God, like I should have just took a video of it with my phone, but I was like, wow, that's weird. Cause I had not dreamed. I dreamed about my dad used to visit me in my dreams all of the time. And I had not dreamed about my dad for months. And then my dad came to me in my dream last week. He came to me in my dream last week. And this time he was not sick or anything. It was like he was doing the exact same thing that he had been doing. I remember my dad was saying that his determination. He said he had spoke with a local politician, and this was like back in like the late 80s to early 90s. This is why people love my dad so much. And my dad says that he organized, he understood and got everybody together. That's why I always talk about organization. He said he organized, he got out and talked to the people because there was this particular person that was in office that did not believe in hiring black people. Right? He didn't believe in making black people like management or putting them in supervision positions. And he said once he got people organized, he said the guy said to him, listen, I want to have a meeting with you to see what we can sit down and talk about, because he got scared because my dad had gotten so many people together. Right. And he said, so at that point, the guy knew he was in trouble. So he said to the guy was like, what do we need? What do we need to do to fix this? And he said he told the man, what we got to do is I want you to put a black person as one of your supervisors. I kid you not, my dad talked about this on a TV on his TV show, okay? And he said that the white guy said, oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that. No, I can't do that. He said the guy just kept saying, no, no, I wanted to see how we could fix this, but I can't do that. I can't, no, no. He said that's how he kept saying it. No, no, I can't do that. I can't put a black person in a man. No, no. He said, and he told the guy, he said he just kept saying that, like he said, and I told him, well, then you will not be reelected. And so my dad says when election time came, he got his people together, they organized, they stood outside of the door, and they had made flyers telling them to vote for that man's opponent, and that man lost. That's why I know that organization and being consistent, not selling out, is the only way that our community is going to start seeing some type of solutions, right? Even if I don't like somebody, hey, I can't. I understand that we're all in the same community. That's why I can't understand how people spend their days plotting on folks, because it's too much other stuff to do, especially with the Black community being in a state of emergency. We have better. It's just too much other stuff to do, right? And so for me, I don't like having to stop what I'm doing, because I look at everything now as, especially with my dad leaving here so early, everything, as I'm in my 40s, I'll be at the age that my dad was when he passed away. We all getting older every second of the day, right? We were birthed into the world getting older, right? And so I don't like to stop my life to try and fix stuff that I shouldn't be fixing. That's why I'm so dead set on I hate violators of any sort. I will say this. I happened to pull up something. It's some stuff going on in the background. I haven't said anything. And I was like, let me do something. And I pulled it up, and this was like 2 weeks ago. And the first thing it said was I had somebody has gone and opened up a bank account in my name in Illinois. But like, I mean, it was just up there just as big as day. And, I saw some other stuff too. And then, hey, they didn't stop there. They want to try to mess with my kids, right? So that really just turned on the crazy button. So I really I hate to stop my life. You know what I mean? And I can't understand. That's why I always say I can't understand how people that's got bills and, women that's got children and grandchildren could ever participate in dealing with a bunch of damn bombs that's going to get them. They're going to do some federal time. Okay. If you work, well, anyways, I'm through with that. So, anyways, you guys, I got to get off of here because I got to run. Okay. I got to get off of here because I got to run. But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Um, I really enjoyed being on here with you guys today, as always. Okay, as always. Um, Make sure y'all go back and look at that video. It says Tion Young Dolph accused killers Orange Mound Quet and Cornelia Smith. Okay, that was from March of 2023. But anyways, you guys, I enjoyed being on here with you guys. What time is it? Oh, it's going on at 11 o'clock, so I'm definitely behind. But I appreciate you all as always. Okay. I love you guys. Y'all be safe out there. I'll talk to you later.